Hello friends, welcome back. My name is Himanshu, and in this video again we are going to continue our pivot table. So the next thing that we are going to understand is how to change the source data. This means this pivot table has been drawn from a master data which could be considered as a source data. However, if you want to change the source data, this is something very easy. You need to go to options and there you will see the option of change source data. Click on change source data and it will show you the source data. Now you can make a new selection. Let's say I have made a very few data selection like this, and that source data has been changed. Click on OK. Now you may see few less values because I have selected a very few less data. So this is how you can change the source data. I am doing Ctrl Z in order to retrieve the data. Another option is the sorting option. Here you can see the data already has been represented in an ascending order like A till W, which is ascending, or you may convert this into like descending order also. If it's alphabets, it will show Z to 8. If you will set your cursor over here, then it's going to show largest to smallest. So if you want to sort this data on the basis of these items which are in alphabets, so click over here and you may see, or otherwise in ascending order. However, if you want to sort this data on the basis of value, so you need to set your cursor on the value and click over here. It's going to happen. So these are the sorting options. Another option that we need to understand here, that if we required even more pivot table in a single sheet, in this very sheet, if I want another pivot table, and why it will be required, in order to create a dashboard. Not only I want to show the items detail, I want to show the client detail, but different in different pivot tables. So for this, the option is you need to select the pivot table, copy it and paste it. I have done that. Now this pivot table is different and this pivot table is different. So I have selected this pivot table and not item, I have selected client. So it's showing me the client data and it's showing me the item data. Similarly, for many other reasons, in order to represent data differently, you need to use different pivot tables. So this is how you need to do. Copy the pivot table completely. Don't select the pivot table partially because it's not going to fulfill your purpose then. Select it completely and then paste it wherever you want, and then you can make a changes on the field options. However, it's not required right now, so I'm going to delete this. And another option that need to be understand here is the slicer option. So I am going to option, and here is the option of insert slicer. Remember, slicer is nothing but advanced filter option. Here you may work on this data quite fast, because every time when we need to apply a filter, we need to go here in the column filter or maybe in the row filter, and then we need to apply that. But with the slicer, it's quite easy for us to work. So you need to go to insert slicer, click on insert slicer once again and select the options for which you require the slicer. So I make the selection like this, click on OK. So these are the slicer that we have got. So here we have the slicer option, and you can see working on the slicer it's quite an easy. So let's say I want to see the client AppTech only. I have select the AppTech option, and you will see that only AppTech option is coming. I want to see only for A4 duster and notice board, so I have done the selection like this, and I'm getting the option of all the 3 items which I have selected. I want to see only HCL CDC, and if you want to do the selection which is not continuation in manner, then you may press Control button and then you can do the selection like IIST or Roman, and accordingly the options are coming. So these are nothing but advanced filter options. Now there is one very important aspect. Let's say if you want to remove the filter, then click over here, and if you want to remove it completely, select this and click on delete. Okay, I'm not deleting this item option. I'm going to remove the filter, and there are few more options related to slicer. Slicer is printable, so in the option when slicer is selected, you will see the option of designing it. So you may, according to your requirement. Also, there is one option of like column height and width. uh, with these options you may give a hint to the end user, like it's not a slicer, this is some sort of like tab options. How to do that? Let's say column, I'm converting it to, let's say, 3 columns. Okay, I have manually I have increased the width like this, and I have placed it somewhere. I may take another slicer and accordingly I can place it over here. So if I'm going to select duster or professional or like this, it's going to do the selection in this manner. So this is how we need to work upon slicer. I've made the selection of it. I've select the slicer and click on delete, so it will be deleted. This is how we can make use of the rest of the functionality that we have covered in this video. Now there is one very important option which is of group option, and with the help of group option we can manage date and values. How to do that? We are going to do it in the next video. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.